Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Friday the 24th of April.
Up on today's weekly review show.
Another report, another pole position for Rwanda when it comes to being an ICT hub.
The tech world is all about solving problems, and today we learn about a new Diaspora service.
McKinstry eyes Somalia's cult.
And we met a band that's strengthening its voice in the Rwandan reggae scene. Welcome to the Rise and Shine weekly review show, where we take you back through the best of the week right here on Rise and Shine. It's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning, and my name is Makeda Mahadio.
And I'm Regis Isheja. Over the next hour, we'll be bringing you a review of this week's top stories, analysis, debate, and insights into the stories making headlines here in Rwanda and across the world. The Rise and Shine crew have throughout the week been diligently gathering and preparing everything you need to know about what's happening here in Rwanda and around the world. Well, it's been a busy week for us here at the Rise and Shine headquarters. One of the most interesting stories that we reported on this week was the #1 ranking for Rwanda when it comes to government success in ICT promotion. Rwanda topped the World Economic Forum report list, with the next African country on the list, Kenya, coming at number 21. A tribute to the government's quest for the country to become more and more an ICT hub, but also a way to measure how far we've come and what's left to accomplish. Let's take a look back at Monday's report. The World Economic Forum report assessed 143 countries based on their capacities in information and communication technology sectors. The government has invested a lot in building IT infrastructures with the goal of accelerating the country's development.
This report is one of the reports that we have been following for several years now. That benchmarked the way countries, the progress made by countries, but also ranking, and they have various indicators. For us, it came as, it means two things. Number one is it's recognized the effort of the government to promote ICT. In fact, one of the indicators called government success in ICT promotion, which is one of several indicators, put Rwanda as #1 out of 143 countries that were ranked with this report. So we take it as a sign of recognition of all the investment and all and through all the initiatives that the government has done together with the private sector in this country. A valuable feedback for us that we are doing the right things at this time.
With Rwanda topping the world when it comes to government success in ICT promotion, understanding what got us there and how to keep at it is the main goal for the Ministry of Youth and ICT.
We revise our planning and we look at what we can do better to improve this. In fact, globally, when you take all the indicators, we are number 83 out of 143. So you understand we still have a long way to go. In the region, we're #1. In Africa, we're #5. But all of this means that definitely there's an area, there are areas of improvement, and that will be our focus. Will be taking time to derive practical actions that need to be made.
With the report showing Rwanda's evolution, is rural Rwanda on par with what's happening in the cities?
ICT is beyond just providing a network. It's a whole ecosystem we need to put in place. #1, we would like to continue to extend the access network. You're most likely aware that five months ago we started rolling out 4G in the country, in Kigali, and now, as 3 weeks ago, it's also reached 4 additional cities: Rusizi, Huye, Musanze, and Rubavu. So now we have 5 cities covered by 4G. But it's still going on. So we want to cover all the places in the country because our target is to literally reach 95% of the population. And those are not only plans, that's the rollout schedule that we have, and we would like to achieve it by 2017.
More success to come. Regis Sheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio now is Didier Mfura, Director General in charge of ICT at the Ministry of Youth and ICT. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Didier. Now, the thing I want to talk about mostly is when you remember where this country was 21 years ago, having to rise from the ashes after, those who perpetrated the genocide having left nothing. And to see us being named, to see Rwanda being named number one when it comes to the government promotion of ICT in the country, I think that's a pretty great feat. How did we get there?
Yes, you're completely right. It's for us. It came as really a sign of recognition because, as you say, 21 years ago, this country was completely in ashes and there was almost no hope. But this country is a completely transformed country today, and today you can see hope in the eyes of the people. The leadership of this country has completely created a new chapter for Rwanda. And when we started from nowhere. We didn't have some of the competitive advantage other countries have, especially because they're near the sea. We didn't have all of that, but it's all started by a clear vision and a clear goal. And this has been driving us all these years since we started these ICT plans in 2000 till today. We have been able to achieve all of this because of the clarity of the vision and also this hope that has been passed to us and the other generations that these things can become possible.
Now, you talk about having a clear vision. Tell me, what exactly is the vision? Where will Rwanda be ideally? I know that, we want a cashless society and different things like that, but where do you see us going, let's say in 10 years?
Well, we want to create socioeconomic opportunities for Rwandans. We believed from the beginning that ICT can really contribute to this economic welfare, this prosperity that Rwanda wants and Rwanda deserves. So all the investment that have been put is just to create a favorable environment for it to happen. So what we want to see tomorrow, in next 5-10 years, we want to see companies with very humble beginnings become huge companies, employ more people, and want overall this economic development to attain every Rwandan. Not only people live in the cities, but also want someone in a village, someone in a smaller city to dream about something and to bring it to reality. Because what ICT does is remove borders. An idea can quickly become global because there is simply no borders with IT.
Now, when you think about IT, ICT, and you look at the infrastructures that the government has been able to put in place, and then you think about the Hehe Labs and all these other infrastructures, but also you think about initiatives like Youth Connect. Is it with the youth that will be able to not only stay on top when it comes to these kind of lists, but also, prosper on the long run?
I'll say yes, it's the youth, but not only the youth. Really, it gives opportunity to everyone. Why we think youth will play a major role is because we all know that more than 75% of this population is below 35 years old. So we really have a youthful population. And that's where also you have the most active population today. And also most of the innovation, we've seen it in the past, come from the youth, from people with youthful.
Right.
So we want to give this opportunity to them, and we want to tell them this is your time. What we're doing today, what the government is doing today, is simply to unlock all the possibilities, all the dreams which our youth have, but they simply didn't have an opportunity to do so before because we didn't have the right environment. Now it's happening, and want to tell them there is nothing that can stop them actually to reach their goals and reach their dreams.
What are some ICT solutions that you think are being underused, that a lot of people could be doing and you know, they could be utilizing, but they're not?
Well, I'll say first of all, we have a lot of potential, because I think today the way people use, for example, the internet, we underuse it. Most of the people will do probably social media. They'll probably use it to connect, which is good, because we live in a society where we need to connect and share. But we think that we can actually go beyond, because there's such a vast amount of knowledge available for each of the sectors where someone want to specialize in. So if you want to do, let's say you want to develop, let's say an application that's help your business to prosper, there are plenty of resources that you can touch. If you want to know market price, if you want to know to understand the demand of a certain product locally or globally, a lot of information is there. So we feel that that's where serious people want to build serious business, need to spend a bit more of the time. Of course, in the past we had issues of infrastructure, but I'll say with time, and as time is going, we have one of the best infrastructure in the region, in the continent also, and we hope actually we can provide just the right foundation so that people can build on this foundation.
I feel like that's definitely
absolutely. I was gonna ask. You know, I know we're time restrained, but I was just gonna ask you. Someone told me last night on the street when I told them you were coming on the show. Someone asked me, why would ICT be important for Jean-Michel Harerimana, who lives in Gicumbi, somewhere really removed from cities? Why would ICT speak to him?
Quickly before we have to wrap up.
Exactly.
Yes. I think what it means for a simple person is that you are no longer constrained by where you live, the people you live with. You can simply connect to literally the world. So it means that anything that you can, that person has been cherishing, there is a possibility to actually share it to the rest of the world.
Director General Ngurikin, for that, thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming, and welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
It's really interesting. What gave you the idea to go ahead and explore that topic?
Basically, when you think about it, first of all, it was on social media. Everybody could see it. Everybody retweeted it. The fact that Rwanda was ranked #1 when it comes to the government's, success in making everybody be aware of ICT. But on top of that, it's the little things that they're doing. As you saw yesterday on Thursday's show, I covered the Youth Connect Night, the Hangout, and also the Girls in ICT Day. So ICT is truly a sector in Rwanda that's flourishing, that's giving us a great reputation out there, and that's making us
really good opportunities.
Huh? Absolutely.
All right, nice one, Regis. All right, so another story that really caught our attention this week was the Society for Family Health's goal of helping the Rwandan population get healthier. SFH has been helping Rwandans with HIV, AIDS, and malaria, and also awareness of the importance of hygiene and family planning. With offices around the country, the organization has a first-hand look at health issues that are a priority to Rwandans. Let's take a look back at Regis's Tuesday report.
The Society for Family Health, SFH, is a non-government and non-profit organization that provides health products, services, and behavior change communications to our population. The organization aims at challenging Rwandans to change their habits and embrace a healthier life, a change that must start with a different mentality.
We are trying to encourage Rwandans to change behavior. Everything starts with the brain, with the mind. So whatever you decide, determines your life and destiny. So we have realized that most of the diseases, most of the problems, health-related problems, actually are related to behavior. So, for example, we are into HIV prevention. We are teaching people, we are mobilizing people to help themselves in preventing HIV and AIDS. Number 2 is about malaria prevention and control. As you know, malaria is one of the big problems facing our country, and the government is in the eradication campaign to basically eliminate malaria. So we are part of the we are partners with the government to support in the preliminary exercise by encouraging people, mobilizing people, sensitizing them to sleep under the net, but also to clear the bushes and the stagnant waters where the mosquitoes breed. We're also into sanitation, basically water, hygiene, and sanitation. This is a big deal for us. As you know, many diseases actually are because of basically because of lack of hygiene. So if you are able to clean yourself and you have sanitation around your house, around the utensils, you are clean, so you really reduce a number of diseases.
Malaria prevention, AIDS prevention, family planning, sanitation, all those are challenges SFH has taken on, hoping this could lead to a greater life for Rwandans, whether it be those living in Musanze, Kigali, or Huye, or those in rural areas.
We have over 100 community-based organizations that are working with us. We have over 300 peer educators that are working with us. So basically we are in each and every district of this country. Despite the fact that we have limited staff, but we have really invested in our partnerships and community-based organizations.
Behavior change is their main target, and they're not planning on letting up anytime soon.
Our focus is behavior change. So when we see people adapting practices and behaviors that are healthier and safe, we are so excited. Our measure of efficiency and achievement is called EDARI. EDARI means disability adjusted life years. Basically, how many people can you save in terms of estimates by using your products and services and the information they get. I got a report that our interventions have contributed to saving over 152,000 people. So basically, you have your interventions are estimated to have contributed to a person's choice to save his life. So that's exciting.
Health before everything else. Regisi Sheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining us in studio now is Manasseh G. Wandera, Executive Director at SFH Rwanda. Good morning, Mr. Wandera.
Good morning.
All right, so this is not only what I personally call a campaign, but it's going on all over the country. So what have you been able to accomplish by touching people? When I was doing my research, I saw that you actually yourself went to the field, spoke to them. So what do you tell them?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for hosting me this morning, and I'm quite excited. Now, when we go to the field, we are telling the population that it is important to have healthy behaviors. And a healthy life begins with a person's choice, and it is all in our hands. We are capable to make right choices. So that's basically our message. So we have different areas of intervention, but it all centers around choice, which we are all able to make.
So is there a focus on children or on high school children, on younger children? Because if it's starting with the mentality, I would think that you would have to start young.
Exactly. We are working with out of school, in school. We are working with mothers whom we believe that they can transmit the right behaviors into their children, but also engage with the youth, with the young kids, and with different segments of the population who we believe will always influence the younger ones.
Now, I happened to MC an event one day about self-reliance, and what some of the participants were saying, especially those from rural areas,
Yes.
is that they had 11 children, 12 children, and they didn't really seem to care about family planning. How do you get them to adhere to that program?
Thank you so much. Actually, that's one of our exciting programs because it is quite practical. Now, we say, Mr. X, you have this big plot of land or small plot of land, but for sure it does not expand each and every day. Now, if your family is expanding every single year, certainly you're going to outnumber it.
Right.
So you're going to, you're going to outnumber the capacity for the land, for the resources to feed you. So we just bring the practical issues, the real life issues to the table, and we discuss with the population. So they are able to identify the problem. Basically, we are facilitators. We facilitate them. We kind of open their eyes to discuss issues. We tell them that, see, the world today is being driven by competences, by skills, these skills are acquired in schools, in different environments, exposure. If you're not able to cater for your children, if you don't have resources to take your children to the right schools, definitely they're not going to be the people who are driving the agenda of their country. You want your children to be on top. And if you produce so many, you're not able to care for them, you'll not be happy yourself. So they are able to realize this is the issue at hand. And then progressively they're able to decide and change behavior and make the right health decisions.
So I know that you deal with things like, family planning, malaria, HIV/AIDS prevention, but what would you say the most energy is put into? What I suppose would be the biggest problem?
Thank you so much. Actually, most of our focus areas of intervention are quite critical and important. In fact, there are issues that currently the country is facing. For example, the issue of family planning, we have an unmet need of 19%. People who would want to have family planning services and products, but there's that gap. HIV, for example, some of our target population in HIV is female sex workers, and the current HIV rate now is 51%. So we also work with people to help them in terms of uplifting nutrition. The malnutrition rate now in Rwanda for the under 5 kids is about 44%. So basically the area is wide, but most of our energies are focused depending on the amount of resources we have at hand. Currently, we have over 50% of our budget towards HIV and AIDS, and believe me, it's still a big problem. 3% of our population is HIV positive. So that means it is a big problem. And just like I said, the 51% of female sex workers, and surprisingly, over 60% of the clients of female sex workers are stable couples. That's a big problem. So I'm not disappointed that we are putting most of our energies there, but definitely there's still a gap in different areas. Thank you.
Now, there's a number you mentioned in the report, which
Yes.
I want you to bring back up, which was, arguably the amount of people that you've been able to touch.
Yes.
That's one. And then my second question will be, there's an urban myth.
Yes.
I don't know if it's really a myth, it's closer to reality.
Yeah.
And it's about when someone is drinking tap water,
Yes.
they have a tendency of saying, "Nta chicu mwirabura," which in English is nothing kills the black person.
Yes.
Which, how do you get to those people and explain to them that it's important to have that water be good for them to drink it? Like, how do you explain it to people?
So one thing is very clear. Untreated water or unboiled water definitely has some germs, absolutely, and they are unhealthy. They can cause diseases, including diarrhea.
Right.
So there's no doubt about that. So some of our products, we are able to, for example, if we use P&G and we demonstrate how it works and we remove the dirt, they are able to see. In fact, they are always surprised and astonished to see the amount of dirt that is contained in the water when we do the demonstrations. So that's one aspect that raises their attention to say, is this what we have been consuming all these years? And then we have definitely good education and communication materials that show exactly the impact, that show exactly the dangers, and then we are able to demonstrate with practical evidence.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, tap water is good water, but it is not clean water for drinking until you treat it or you boil it up to a certain degree.
Right.
So, and most people are not able to boil water. If you are even able to boil, you are using fuel. Fuel is quite expensive. So basically, you can use our products and protect the environment and save time.
Definitely things that are very necessary for the
Absolutely.
society.
We appreciate you coming this morning, Mr. Wandera. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome
Thank you.
back
Welcome back
anytime.
anytime.
Thank you.
That was was a great interview. It was a lot of fun.
That's a man that's taller than me. You don't meet him
I was
every
thinking,
day. He's huge.
not a lot of people can be taller than Regis.
Absolutely.
But, you know,
but I like what he's talking about.
Definitely.
It's very necessary that our population gets healthier and understands the importance of, you know, sleeping in mosquito nets and using condoms and all that.
and it seems like they're making headway. I mean, education
Absolutely.
is always the first thing.
Right.
All right, well, you're watching this review edition of Rise and Shine Rwanda, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Connect to Lusaka 3 times a week starting 27th March. Enjoy comfort and safety at affordable fares to 17 other destinations across Africa and the Middle East.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
All right, welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, the review. Now, there were some big business stories in the news this week, and as ever, the Rise and Shine team have been speaking to local entrepreneurs and business experts. Fidelis Karangwa looked at a young up-and-coming entrepreneur who has come up with a unique approach to sending money home.
That's right, Regis. During the 1994 genocide, many Rwandans were forced to leave their country and seek refuge elsewhere. Well, times have changed, and while many are moving back and are amazed by how transformed and developed the country has become in such a short period of time, many still have family living outside of the country. A young man has gone ahead to start an innovative business that helps make the diaspora feel closer to home. Let's take a look back at Tuesday's report.
Antoine, like many other Rwandans, lived in Canada for over 20 years, but throughout this period he believed that Rwanda was still a struggling country. In his effort to find a conducive environment to start his business, he visited the East African region but was hesitant to visit Rwanda. But that was about to change.
I toured the whole East Africa looking for a place where there's security, there is no corruption, and also technicians, good qualified technicians. So first of all, visited Burundi and then Uganda. I've been in Kenya also. So when I visited Rwanda, I was totally amazed because I was really expecting low in terms of technician qualified and also in terms of, let's say, security, because I've been living outside of Rwanda for more than 20 years. So what we hear outside has nothing to do with what it is. So I came here and I was amazed to see, like, wow, it's really doing even much better than many countries in the region in terms of security, in terms of corruption, in terms of even qualified technicians. So yeah, it was a good surprise, if I can say. And yeah, so I chose to come to start here in Rwanda.
Having officially started his mobile application in January of this year, Antoine says his app is meant to ease transactions between Rwandans living in Rwanda and diaspora people, where they can easily buy electricity, airtime, and even pay tuition fees for their families that live in Rwanda.
I was living outside Rwanda for 20 years, so I'm what they call migrant or diaspora people. So one of the major challenges we are facing is when it comes time to help our relatives back home, it's not only expensive, but also it's very stressful because in many cases, and it wasn't just me, even people we interviewed before we started this business, they said they will send money, let's say, for tuition fees, and the receivers, not because they are dishonest, but simply because they have a lot of needs, they will use half of that money for something else. So you find now people kind of mistrust between the beneficiaries and the senders. So we decided to conceive a mobile application that will connect directly migrant to merchant here in Rwanda. So whenever you are paying something, you pay directly to the merchant. So the beneficiary will simply get the service or the product from that merchant.
Businesses like these are set to change the face of mobile commerce in Rwanda. Good news for us as we try to achieve a cashless economy. Karangwa Fidelis, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining us now in studio is Antoine Mohire, the founder and managing director of Margent. Welcome, Antoine, to the show.
Thank you.
So let me just start with asking. So one would hear about this application and think this is something that sounds exactly like maybe what Western Union, for example, offers us, the services that it offers us. So how is it different from Western Union, for example? What are the advantages of this that you can't easily get from Western Union? How is it different?
Well, Western Union is a cash-to-cash service, meaning you put $20 and at the end there's $20 coming out. And we are a cash-to-service or product, so which means your $20 is being transformed in a service or a product. Mm-hmm. So the advantage is not only it's cheaper because you have less regulation in terms of controlling the anti-terrorism laws, but also you control the use of the funds you're sending. So that's the major problem actually we're resolving, controlling the use of the money migrants are sending back home.
Mm-hmm. Also, now I know when you started, you were discussed earlier and you told me when you had just started your business, you had a few challenges that you had to overcome, and how I want to know what they are and how you were able to overcome them.
Well, the first one, I mean, after 20 years, of course, it's like you're visiting a new country. Rwanda has totally changed. Mm-hmm. And so there's that major challenge of reconnecting with your country. A lot of emotion involved, but also you have to see the ICT sector of Rwanda. It's pretty new. It's doing well, but it's pretty new. So I was really looking for well-qualified technician, given the kind of project I was bringing in Rwanda. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty challenging because I had to be very flexible in terms of when choosing the qualification, not being too rough on them because I'm going to train them, and I'm going to also make sure that we evolve. So I had to be really very flexible, otherwise I would have not found any well-qualified in terms of what I was looking for. But right now we are doing very well. The product we put on the public, it was very, very impressive in terms of, if you look to the people who made it, they were really learning by doing also this product. So that was the second challenge. And the third challenge, of course, is you face critics. Or, let's be honest, when you come after 20 years, you know some people judge you, how can you come and stuff like that. So it's kind of emotional challenges, but also mostly technician level. But thank God everything's going well now. Yeah.
And what would you say about the business environment in Rwanda, especially, let's say, to your fellow diaspora people who are probably watching the show and wondering and maybe are interested in starting businesses here? What do you think of it as someone who is new to it at the moment?
Well, they're missing something. And like me, the first time I came here, I was visiting during my tour for East Africa and see where I can sell on my business. And once I realized, I was like, wow, this country is really doing much better than what we are expecting or what we are hearing from other medias out there. I realized that we are missing something. Rwanda is pretty new. There is no corruption. The security is totally there. I was leaving my laptop in a cafe to see if someone will steal it, and maybe I can go back and say, there are still some people who steal your laptop, but it didn't happen. And when you give money to, let's say, the motor driver and say, go get the change, he will come back and give you back the change. So when you're starting a business, you need security and you need zero corruption. So Rwanda is the place to be because it's the reality. And also for my fellow diaspora people is we got the chance to go outside and to see what's going on outside. So we are well equipped to come and take advantage of that environment where you can do business very easily without any insecurity. And I'm pretty sure in 10 years we're going to be billionaires.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be here right now. So I'm telling them, guys, come, otherwise you'll be, you know, maybe in 10 years
The
won't
money
be the
is in
same.
Rwanda.
Exactly, it won't be in the same level.
Great.
I'll be driving a Bugatti and they'll be driving Toyota.
Nice,
So yeah.
nice. So now, in the spirit of Kwibuka, I understand you've partnered with the Inchike app developers. What initiative do you have going on? Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, the Inchike initiative, people maybe can start by visiting the website, inchike.rw. It helps old women 70 and up that has nobody to take care of them and they are survivors of the genocide of 94 against Tutsis. So diaspora people had normally to send money via a SWIFT. Like you go to a bank, there is a account bank maybe in Becca and you send the money there. But you know, when we are in in Canada or America, we don't have that much time really to go in a bank. We want something that can be done fast.
Yeah.
So our application, as you paying for airtime or tuition fees, it allows people from the diaspora to donate directly to the Inchike without leaving their offices or home, and there are no charges this time on that donation. So if you donate $5, the Inchike will get $5. And I think this is a good initiative that young people got here, because it's actually the ICT chamber who started to see how technology can help those people, and we got associated with them. So I think it's a good initiative because diaspora people really want to help, and the little $5 will make a difference in those elders' lifestyle. Yeah.
Perfect. So we thank you very much for coming to the show. Now we know you have big plans from diaspora helping us to pay our mortgage loans. We're just looking forward to all these amazing things that you have planned, and we wish you all the best.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
A great initiative. I love that.
I like
It's
the
so
initiative.
convenient.
I know the entrepreneurial spirit behind it.
But also, this is something that a lot of people who have any family abroad mostly know about. You're always sending money back, or someone's sending money, or it doesn't just happen in Rwanda. It happens all over the world.
Right, through MoneyGram and Western Union and all those
different things.
places.
So I'm
right?
glad that they made it that convenient.
Absolutely. You're watching Rise and Shine's weekly review. Let's take a look back at the week that was in sports with Arnold Quizera.
Well, this week we saw Arnold delve into some interesting sports stories from our very own Amavubi, preparing for both the Sekafa Cup and next year's Chan to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. I obviously know everything that I'm talking about, but I want you to tell us more.
Right, Makina, the road to the Rio 2016 Olympics begins this Saturday with the national under-23 team taking on Somalia in the first round qualifier. Arnold caught up with the squad as they went through their drills. Let's take a look back at Wednesday's report.
The national under-23 team is set to take on Somalia this weekend in a win or bust Rio 2016 Olympic Games qualifier. With majority of the squad in camp being part of the under-17 team that represented Rwanda in the World Cup in Mexico, Rwanda will hope to dislodge Somalia on its way to qualify for the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. The team is currently undergoing residential training under the tutelage of new coach John McKinstry at the National Stadium, Amahoro. Rwanda go into the game as favorites in what many will call McKinstry's first official task.
I absolutely take full responsibility for calling the players. I think the team is more balanced this time. Probably the last group, as you say, was selected by the technical department before my arrival, was maybe a little bit imbalanced, maybe too many central midfielders and so on. So this time we've tried to get a bit more balance, but equally I've still see a lot of players playing in the league. I've only been here a short time. I've seen 4 or 5 games so far, and those games have influenced my selection. Players I've liked the look of in those competitive games in the league have been called up. But there are still maybe 6, 7, 8 teams I've yet to see. So yes, this team is 100% selected by myself, but at the same time, maybe by the time we get into the next set of fixtures, I may have seen some more players that I have not yet seen. So I think there's good balance in the team. From what we've seen in training yesterday and this morning, there's good tactical awareness. So I'm looking forward to a good performance on Saturday.
The Irishman has promised an exciting brand of football as he looks to instill a more expansive play in his team that he feels is more balanced than the Amavubi squad that took on Zambia in Lusaka.
Of this group, 14 of the squad were involved in the senior squad for the last group, and a number of players who've also represented Rwanda on the world stage at the Under-17 World Cup a few years ago. So there's a lot of talent there. But there's also a great amount of potential, and so we're trying to take them forward. We're not looking to stand still in terms of the level they're playing at. We're challenging them in training every day to learn new things, to perform better, because if we want to have success this year, whether it's in CECAFA, the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, the World Cup, or even the Olympics into Chan next year, we need to raise our level. So it's a journey. We're looking for a positive performance on Saturday, no doubt, but we're still putting together the building blocks of this team. So the supporters can expect, a full energy performance, players who will give everything. And, we're hoping to go out and score a few goals, but equally the number one priority is to put in a good performance and to get a positive result.
With the coach going for performance over season names, anything less than a win will be treated as a step in the wrong direction for football in Rwanda. Arnold Kwizera, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
All right. So from your conversation with Coach McKinstry, what could you get from it?
I think he's looking on, he doesn't want to say this out to the people, but I think he's working on increasing the depth of Rwandan football, because you notice 14 of those junior players, under 23 players, are still the national team players, which is a sign that we don't have enough depth. When you look at the season international teams, when you look at just our neighbors, Uganda and Kenya, players that play in the under 23 and under 21 don't play for the senior team, despite them being eligible for that age group, maybe 19 or 20. As long as you make the move to the senior camp, you don't go back to the junior camp, which is good for player development. But I think this is also gives him a chance to gain that momentum, to instill that type of play. He wants to give the Amavubi. He wants to play an attractive brand of football. When I watched the training session yesterday, it didn't look that attractive. He concentrated more on the defense. But again, he wants to take full responsibility for this team. The past team that was chosen by Lee Johnson, the technical director, who has now left for India, that took on Zambia in Lusaka and lost away to Lusaka. Rwanda will seek, I think, to change that result. Somalia is not, shouldn't be a threat. I think anything less than a win will be a disappointment from this national team, especially being with the experience they have. You have the likes of Olivier Kwizera, Yannick Mukunzi, all are fit to go on and take on this Zambia team. And these are the players we had at the Under-17 World Cup in Mexico a few years back. So you feel yesterday I got lucky to be in the inner discussion which he was having with the national team. With the national team players, and you feel so many of our players haven't picked up on so much, so many professional aspects. There's no way you can be a professional soccer player when you don't have 2 pairs of boots. Yet you receive a salary. Those are basics. Right. This is your profession. So that shows that the players have not been mentored in the right way, and as a coach, he's starting to do that. And these are very young players, so there's still a lot of room for improvement.
All right.
Well, I'm definitely crossing my fingers for our national team this weekend.
Right. Makena, you know what? Everybody's waiting to see what John McKinstry's team is going to do.
Including me.
Absolutely, in Somalia. Because remember, when you think about it, when we went to Zambia, right after he had taken the reins of the team, which was earlier this month, we didn't do that well. We lost that game. And now everybody's looking at him because he's had a little bit more time to actually, look at the league here, which is where most players come from. So he's seen what APR can do. He's seen what Rayon Sport can do, Police and, Amagaju and all these teams. And now he picked a squad based on that. Of course, he hasn't been here long enough to have a great understanding of what Rwandan football is, but at least he has an idea.
Yeah.
And we expect him to at least triumph in that kind of game.
Well, let me tell you something. I feel like I'm in class right now because really, but thank you for schooling me. Thank you for schooling us. And you don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Lifestyle. Formerly known as Kids Voice, this up-and-coming band is a force to be reckoned with. Now known as the more fitting Strong Voice, this family act behind the band is certainly stronger than ever, hitting audiences in Rwanda and beyond with energetic performances of their rockin' reggae vibes. Let's take a look back at Tuesday's report.
Before we started with the Kids Voice, so by now we are no longer kids, we've become Strong Voice. Yeah. My name is Nesije Patrick.
My name is Rachel Umana.
My name is Nidia.
My name is Richard Flowers.
My name is Deritius Musogi.
We started at home. It was me and my brother Eritius. We just started together trying a guitar, a bit. Then we say, oh, we have a talent, we can just make and we rise it up. So that's the way we just try to find out and we say we are talented, we can just make it shine. Once my little brother called Pacific, saw, oh, my brothers, they're just going to play their music themselves. I have to join them. So he comes. So once he comes by covering the drums. Because by that time we didn't have the drummer. So he comes by covering the drum place. So that's how the Strong Voice comes up.
The inspiration we got it from father, mother, Ja also. And we have our teacher called KB. It's him who gives us some notes on guitar. The artist, musician, I can give you example, Bob Marley. Someone we love, I love him. Patrick love Touch. Patrick love Lucky Dube, you see? It's when we bring it together, it's roots of inspiration. Yeah. Voice also is going to achieve great things in Rwanda. It's going to send a message in the people of Rwanda. Yeah, I think so.
What's the message?
The message is to be in one, to be one and unity. Yeah.
To bring Africa, to develop Africa. Rastafari.
And now I'm here in studio live with lead singer Patrick from Strong Voice. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And good morning. Okay, so tell me, we just got a small introduction there. We learned about, who Strong Voice is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But now I want to know, what is Strong Voice up to right now? Are you working on your album? Are you working on your live performances?
Oh, great. Right now we're just working for the third album. For that one we have presented this for the previous one, the first album we did. By now we're just recording the second album and the third one at the same time. So at the launch we shall make both. We shall launch both albums at the same time.
You're making 2 albums at once?
Yes.
So how is that going?
Oh, just good. We're just trying a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, I know that you do reggae music and a lot of the music has, good, positive messages, like what your brother was saying there, it's kind of about unity and stuff like that. But what is the inspiration, like how do you come up with the songs that you write? Because your older brother was telling me that you all write your own music.
Yes. So the inspiration is just come from Jah. After getting the inspiration from Jah, I can just tell you that the Bible, it's just inspired me. How I can just say too long, see, by checking out what is written, what the prophets had said, so they just inspire me so much. Even the Bomale, Lucky Dube, even Peter Tosh, they had the strong words which can just make up the word. Yeah. Even so, on the side of Strong Voice, we just check out the situation which is on that time. So if there is no peace in one country, can just say, no, we don't need this one. We have to sing it in order to encourage people. What is peace? Yeah.
So you all in the band are brothers and sisters, or you say that you're brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Are you actually really family, brothers and sisters,
yes,
same mom, same dad?
From same dad and same mom.
Everyone?
Yeah.
So how is it that everyone got to get into music? Because, sometimes there are some people in a family that are into music, some who aren't. How is it that everyone got involved?
Actually, it was not easy to be together with the sisters, because the sisters it was somehow difficult to come up with us. So we just started, me and Eritius, just start playing the music a bit. Then once, my young brother, there is sometime we went to play at Alpha Palace. He saw that we were together, me and my brother Eritius. Why? He said, why can't I join my brothers? They don't have a drummer, so I can just go in the cover that the drum plays. So once he went home, he said, I should run the drums. So he just tried a bit, learning a bit. So he said, this concert, we had the concert on 11 May. I said, on this concert I should perform me too. So he said, you go ahead. So once he played the drums, he played good.
And then after him, your other siblings got involved?
And other sisters, they just say, they have getting jealous. They said, we have to join our brothers, because they have unite. So we have to join them, then we make a good things.
So how long have you been doing music? How long has the band been together?
By now, since 2006.
So that's quite a long time. It's almost 8 years.
8 years.
So you started when you guys were all young, and you called it Kids Voice.
Yeah, before we was Kids Voice.
Right.
But by now we are no longer kids.
So what would you have to say, if you had anything to say to any young people out there who they want to start music, but they think maybe I'm too young or something like that?
What I can just say, if you do have the feelings of the music, don't be afraid. What you have inside you, you have to make it up. Because what you have inside it just change the hearts of people, the mind of people. So you just make it up, because it's a really good thing. Yeah, that's what I can just say. And there is something I can just say right now. So some people, they just say reggae music is all about smoking, marijuana, ganja, marijuana, something like that. So for the reggae, if you just love reggae, you just love the message. Don't love what we call the drinking something like that, smoking ganja. No, it's not about reggae music. Reggae is just giving the message to people. That's what we call reggae
Positive
music.
message,
Positive message.
Good vibes.
Good vibes, yeah.
Okay, so last thing I want to know, well, you know, in the video we see your older brother saying that he got his inspiration, or Kid's Voice, or Strong Voice got the inspiration from your mom and your dad.
Yes,
so are they
yes.
also musicians?
No, they are not. But they do love music. Even if we are going to play the music, they just come with us. Then they assist what you are doing.
And is that where you learned about Rastafari and things like that, or is it from the music?
It's just from the music.
Just from the music.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of the music, I want to hear a little something. I see that you brought your guitar.
Yeah,
it would be very nice if we could just get a small sample.
Okay, can just make it.
Okay, perfect. Live on Rise and Shine, we have Patrick from Strong Voice.
Strong Voice. When I say, Jah is my way. Why you say, you gonna cut me down? When I say, Jah is my way. Why you say, you gonna cut me down? Jah is my creator, Jah is my savior, Jah is my way. Jah is my Lord, Jah is my King, Jah is my sweet, sweet Lord. Jah is my creator, Jah is my savior, Jah is my way. Jah is my Lord, Jah is my King, Jah is my sweet, sweet Lord. Every morning, every night, when I'm thinking about the story of my great black people, where I see genocide, that I know men slavery, pain and proportions, for tribulation.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very, very, very good.
Really.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. And
Thanks
on
too.
that note, I think we have to move on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, man, so you rocking to that?
Yeah, you know, little early morning jamming.
But that's what you call pure talent. You can tell he like right on the fly. You just told him to go and he went for it.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? That band, Strong Voice, they work so hard. Like I said before, they came from Kids Voice. They started when they were really young. And even when they were young, they were so good. And now, you know, after years of just working hard and you know, just putting in all of that effort, they're really, really good now, you know? And they're working on 2 albums at the same time, which ain't easy. So yeah, any band as hardworking as them has to succeed. So, you know, big up, shout out to Kids Voice, all right? And don't forget that we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. So tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. We're always looking out for you. Like us on Facebook, send us ideas for programs, or tag us in your photos. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports that we upload daily. Follow us on Instagram, we're at Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pics and we're always posting. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We'd love to hear your feedback, so do let us know if you have an idea for the program. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda, the weekly review edition, here on Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahadio. We'll be back here same time, same place on Monday, so please do join us then. But for now, from the both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a great day and an even better weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.